What's up, guys and gals? It's your host of the most, Griever, as always, bringing you guys the latest piece of One Piece. One Piece chapter 1092, entitled Tyrant Kuma's Bartholomew Kuma's Run, Rampage through the Holy Land of Marijo. I'm just calling it Tyrant Kuma's Rampage. Alright, so either way, alright. Opening up with a cover page with our main dude, Jinbei, first son of the sea, first knight of the sea, Jinbei, helmsman and warlord of the Straw Hat crew, the third strongest on the crew. Anyways, so we are jumping into this chapter, and realistically, see, everybody else is going to go nuts, right? I'm going to try to tone back the power scaling on this one. I really am. And just go, I'm just glad we're getting off Egghead. I like the chapter we got here that Kuma, I was under the impression, I don't know where everyone got the same idea that he's headed towards Bonnie for some reason. Did I miss something? Did I read a bad scan or not read the viz properly or something like that? Because I was under the impression he literally was activated and going up to Marijoa to be at Marijoa, but I've seen multiple reviewers and people on Reddit saying that no, he just slammed into the red line pretty much, and he's like, boom, and the red line's simply in Kuma's way. Kuma does not care about the Celestial Dragons, about Marijoa, about the Holy Land. He's just using it as a, it just so happens that that's the way over it. And I'm like, well, if that's the case, it's kind of convenient that he literally hit the one spot on the entire red line that's he's going to get attacked. But still, I mean, I guess it works and stuff. Either way, Kuma is going forth and stuff like that. The Fleet Admiral Sakazuki Akainu shows up, and this is actually reminiscent. Once again, a lot of people are going to make the comparisons that he's doing he's giving the old Magma Fist, Hellhound, Whitebeard treatment. Get rid of that stash. No matter how much hockey Whitebeard might have had in his dying years, it wasn't enough to save the greatest mustache in One Piece. The most powerful mustache of all. So Akainu shows up and basically says, like, you're here to do what the revolutionaries, like, kept going and blah, blah, blah. And we do get some insight into there. We see one of the Celestial Dragons. There sort of looks like Charlos. Don't think it's Charlos. Similar style, but I don't think it's supposed to be him. Basically saying, you know, I wanted lobster for dinner last night, but the food stores have no lobster. So Dragon's plan, the revolutionaries' plan, is working up here. But Akainu is here, and he's here to stop Kuma from doing what he's doing. They don't know what his, you know, intent is here. They have no idea. So Sakazuki talks a bunch of shit and basically says, like, well, Kuma, you know, you're not in control anymore. You gave up your humanity. You're just a robot. What are you thinking? Like, what's going on in that tin can of yours? You know, you're just a Terminator on orders. Whose orders are you on? What are you doing and stuff like that? So he goes, either way, you're far too dangerous. I need to take you out. And he has no idea where this corpse of a person is headed. And so he attacks him once again. Takes off some, by the looks of it, some, not as much as he did Whitebeard. Took off part of his head, his ear, that kind of idea. And apparently there's still blood, because he's gushing a bunch of blood. So this Kuma body isn't completely cyborg or android or, you know, androiderists. We got a bad case of terroroids, you know. So I don't know what you'd consider Kuma really, a cyborg, an android, technical term, either way. But he's still got flowing actual blood through his veins and stuff, and Sakazuki is shocked by this. Then, so Kuma isn't even really engaging. He dodged at the last second from the Hellhound, and, you know, that's where Sakazuki is, like, firing off magma shots at him, and Kuma's just running off. He takes a hit, looks like he completely loses one of his feet. He gets one of his feet caught. So Akainu did quite a bit of damage here. He took off a foot of Kuma and took off an ear and part of his head. But then, boom, it seems like, it's hard to tell, but I think he just, boom, jetpacks away and slam into the sky he goes, and he's just taking off. Now, he doesn't go towards the castle. We see the castle there in the background and stuff, so it seems like, I guess that's where everyone came up with this theory, unless I missed a line, that he's headed to Egghead Island. That he's not actually there to do something to the Red Line or to Mary Joa or something like that. I remember the first when people said he's going to the Red Line, he's gonna like activate a bomb to destroy the Red Line or something, like right underneath and crumble, crumble, crumble. That's his directive, is to do that or something. But you know, we don't know what the secret commands that Kuma had implemented. One was protect the Thousand Sunny. There could have been a million. And, you know, it'll be pulled out for plot convenience when we need it. I think Oda's a better writer than that, but so many people come up with different theories. What other commands could Kuma have implemented, or Vegapunk, or Dragon, or somebody implemented into Kuma to be activated in certain situations at the right time, etc., etc. Then we get the finisher of the conversation between Bonnie and Akainu way back when, before, you know, Blackbeard and blah, 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 and all that shit happened there. So this is where Akainu, while the Celestial Dragons are yelling at him and stuff, and I'm just thinking like, Akainu, why don't you just jump up and be like, Kuma! And destroy a bunch of Celestial Dragons. The Gods Knights don't show up though. Like that dude who apparently, like, once again, here, there's a bit of an issue here. Film Red, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not counting it, alright? I'm just not gonna count it. Okay? So the whole, we know Shanks' real name or his last name or whatever. Until it's in the manga proper, I'm just not doing it. Okay? So that dude that we saw who looked like a badass with the Christmas moon stuff, is he his grandfather? Is he his dad? Is he his uncle? Does that make Shanks one of the Celestial Dragons? Blah, blah, blah. Maybe, maybe not. We don't know yet, but I'm still not fully committed to that stuff because I think someone made a meme about it. It was perfect. They basically showed, oh, Shanks' last name, like 100% canon, it's in Film Red. Everything else in Film Red, nope, nothing canon. And it's like, well, why does the fan base get to pick and choose that? So, and I only brought that up because I've seen a lot of debate over this. I don't count any One Piece movie or OVA. The manga is what counts until I see otherwise. When it comes into the manga, I'll take it at its word. The only thing I know of that absolute certain, Oda confirmed, Shiki the Golden Lion is canon. That's it. None of the stuff in the movie happened. Shiki the Golden Lion, the character, does exist. That's the only thing from the movies or anime that I've heard that Oda 100% said yes to. And until I hear otherwise, that's what I'm going off of, right? And I mean, it's so easy nowadays with the internet. So many people go, Oda said this. Look, it's all in kanji. I translated it. Okay? You know what I mean? So, you gotta, you know, I don't speak kanji, like, I can't read kanji, so I don't know. And how do you even prove it's from Oda? You know what I mean? So, nowadays, so either way, just want to say that because the Gods Knights aren't here. And that's weird to me. So, are they still in the castle? Like, aren't they there supposed to be protecting them or something? Maybe, I mean, Akainu's there, so it's fine, but they didn't show up, and I was kind of weirded out that Akainu, of all people, was here. I was hoping to see this dude, you know, show up and show off his skills up against a warlord like Kuma, who's obviously was at the time and still, I would argue, is in the upper echelon of warlord strength. So there would be that. And everyone's calling out Akainu, and he's just sort of pondering as he looks up at the sky. He doesn't give chase because he's just like, he's not here. Obviously, his initial thought was, you're here on revolutionaries' orders, dragons' orders, something. You're here to destroy the Holy Land. I will stop you. But when he just blitz by him and just boom, now Akainu's like, where are you going? You're more machine now than man, twisted and evil. I can't do a good Alec Guinness, I'm sorry. But he goes, you know, you've lost your will, your mind, your body, everything. You're just a damn puppet now. Where could you possibly be going? Akainu is literally, like, I don't think it's like one of those, my friend, like any of this, like respecting. I think he's just literally pondering, like, what the fuck is going on here? And realistically, of all things, would Akainu rather ponder what's actually happening in front of his own eyes? Or would he rather listen to the drabble of, Akainu, you're a shitty fleet admiral. I have no lobster for dinner. Not that it's Nova Scotian lobster anyways, because I don't know what good lobster is. I got the California stuff. I don't know, like, I don't know. Celestial dragons, they probably only eat, like, the highest quality foods, but they don't even realize when it's, like, the best. You know what I mean? One of those things where it's like, okay, here's, like, the best place to get fish in the world, like the best place to get salmon. I don't know where it is, but let's say this lake or this part of the ocean or whatever. This is the best salmon in the world, right? And they get that, but they don't even appreciate that that's the best salmon in the world or whatever like that. And then you give them like subpar, shitty salmon, discounted salmon. You cook it up the same. They don't even notice the difference because they're that fucking full of themselves that they're like, oh, I only eat I drink the finest wine. Meanwhile, you buy them a $10 bottle of red wine port. They're like, yes, I can tell the fragrance. This is perfect. Just like Iron Body and stuff at the beginning in the Barache, did the same shit. And you're just like, yes, I know exactly all about this wine. I feel like the Celestial Dragons are all exactly like him, and they don't actually know the difference or whatever, but they claim they do. Like, you feed them big shrimp and they would think it was lobster, you know what I mean? Like, so anyways, but yeah, so Akainu has a choice. He either ponders why Kuma the Tyrant, what did he come up here for? Where is he going? He's machine. Why is he doing what he's doing? Or he has to listen to that? No, he's going to be pondering what Kuma's doing. So, either way, then we jump back to Egghead, right? So, the sea beasts are being destroyed, shit's going down, Marines. Now we have Gear 4th Luffy, hockeyed up, Snake Man up against Kizaru. I know people are just going to go nuts for this. I know people are going to go nuts. Okay. So, Luffy didn't immediately jump straight into Gear 5. By the end of the chapter, spoiler alert, he does. But I think we needed to give a good showing here that just because Luffy activated Gear 5 and stuff doesn't make his Gear 4th, and just because he learned Advanced Conquerors doesn't automatically mean, okay, Gear 4 is now leaps and bounds stronger than it used to be. He can take on an admiral. He can take down an admiral with Gear base, just Gear 4th and stuff like that because of his crazy hockey. Once again, is having Conquerors hockey, and especially advanced coding of Conquerors hockey, is it better? Is it the best hockey? Yes. That's undisputed. Alright? No problem. But does it mean that guys who have been training their hockey for double the decades that Luffy's been alive? Kizaru's had hockey since probably his 20s, and he, at 15, his teenage years, his 20s. If we go off of Aokiji was but a teenager when he met Garp by the looks of it, maybe early 20s, and he didn't have hockey yet. He was training hockey with Garp in his early 20s. These guys are all in like their 40s, 50s now. They've had hockey for decades. Luffy's had it for all of a couple of minutes. He's had it for a couple of years, right? So no matter how gifted he is, these guys have been training up their hockey for years, like Kaido, like Big Mom, like these people. So, can Kizaru, without Conquerors, hold a candle to... Of course he can. His armament hockey, his observation hockey, it's probably right up there. It's probably on point. And some of it, at times, he probably utilizes it better than Luffy. He can probably know how to match it. And his Devil Fruit, once again, he's had his Devil Fruit longer. I would argue that Kizaru's mastery of his Devil Fruit is obviously better than Luffy's. I would argue the original 3 Admirals' use of their Devil Fruit is some of the best in the series. And that coupled with maybe not the best armament hockey, and maybe not the best observation hockey, but top tier of those 2 hockeys, coupled with some of the best mastery of Devil Fruits in the series, they'll be able to hold a candle to Conquerors hockey's usually. If they couldn't, the Admirals never would have stood a chance against Yonkos. Yonkos would have dominated. The moment Garp and Sengoku got old, they would have rolled into town. They would have rolled into town without unstoppable if Conquerors hockey was that OP. Is it the best? Yes, but can you not make up for that difference? Of course you can. Absolutely you can. And we're seeing that here. We're absolutely seeing it. So the fact that Kizaru is fighting and seemingly they're standing at a good level, and once again, let's take Kizaru at his word. A lot of people forget to take Kizaru at his word. And he's saying, it's clear you are definitely the man who took down Kaido. So Kizaru's giving him respect. He's not trash talking him at all. He's like, yeah, okay, I can see this now. So he is acknowledging that Gear 4 Snake Man Luffy, we don't see the Conquerors hockey, we definitely see the armament hockey up, is giving Kizaru, he's defending. Kizaru is defending well, but still defending, not attacking, while Luffy just Snake Man time, right? And he's like, yeah, okay, this is pretty good. Yeah, I can see if this is what you're opening with, you know, like, let's read between the lines a little bit. He's like, damn, because they've only been fighting for like a couple minutes here. This has been a very quick clash so far, and we're just jumping into the very beginning of it. And he's like, yeah, okay, like, if this is your opening, you know, you're full of headstrong and stuff, yeah, if this is what you open with, I'm sure, yeah, alright, this is a level of strength I can believe, you know, the story was true. And he says, like, yeah, but I got a bigger question there, not even talking about your strength. Why are you protecting Vegapunk? And Luffy's like, why do you want to kill him? He's cool. And Kizaru's like, huh, what? And then he decides, alright, enough with defending, because neither one is getting a leg up here. They're fighting to a standstill. Luffy's going all out with his Goma Goma Snake Man, and Kizaru is using, you know, his light powers and stuff, and is able to block all the incoming blows. Probably very good observation hockey showcase there, right? It's hard to tell if he's using armament hockey. It doesn't appear like he is, but with the shading and stuff, it's hard to tell. Either way, with the, of course, with his Devil Fruit powers, it's not, I don't know if it'd be necessary there. I mean, the light powers are different and stuff, but either way, he's doing that stuff, right? Now, this is where Kizaru says, screw it, and he goes, like, a couple miles away. Like, miles and miles away. Like, easily. You can see the whole island. He, whoop, and he zips away in, like, a couple of seconds. Like, Luffy notices when it happens. He notices, he tries to hit him, and zoop, he's going forth, and then he notices and he goes, wow, how far away is he flying? And so he can notice the particles and stuff. Luffy sees that happen, but it's still done, not instantaneously like people say, Kizaru moves at the speed of light. No, probably not. But very definitely one of the fastest characters in the series, if not the fastest. He jumps away super quick, gets out there, and he says, and he answers Luffy's question. He's like, I don't want to kill him, but orders are orders sort of idea, and please don't get him, don't make this harder than it is, don't get in my way, Straw Hat. And then he starts off with, alright, he backs up and he goes, speed is power, acceleration is what matters. Boom, and of course, you know, if you, any level of physics doing, I mean, in electrical we have to do it too, RPM calculations, horsepower, velocity, that kind of stuff. Acceleration, yeah, as we use it, we know from just a quick little math lesson or science lesson, or both, boom, 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 this is going to hurt. And Luffy, we don't see him use observation hockey here necessarily. And once again, I think this would be a counteract. I mean, is he trying to use Future Sight here? We don't see it. We don't notice it. Luffy knows something's coming, but he doesn't really have time. He's sort of blinded there. It looks like, I can't see what's going to happen or what's coming at me. It's so quick that maybe he didn't have time to see into the future. Maybe he didn't think to do it. Doesn't matter. Either way, Kizaru moving at, if not the speed of light, very fucking fast, boom, kicks Luffy from miles away outside the island, blips back in at an accelerated speed, kicks Luffy right through the Megazord of Vegapunk, slams through him, and boom, we just see him then shatter through the dome, and Luffy's just gone. He just keeps going, and I'm like, what in the hell? Now, Kizaru seems a little perturbed that he actually destroyed the Vegapunk Megazord. He's sort of like, he remembers when Vegapunk finished it and stuff and was so happy and stuff. So once again, Kizaru does not like this order. He's freely admitting that. He's just, I'm a cog in a machine. Orders are orders. Once again, which is unlikely as to the good evidence that Kizaru does not have Conqueror's Haki. Though once again, we're seeing it right now. He can contend with Gear 4 Luffy, who has the levels of Haki we expect of a Yonko level and Admiral level character, but between being old enough with long enough time with his Devil Fruit, true mastery of his Devil Fruit and stuff like that, plus very good armament and observation hockey, though we can sort of, I would surmise from this is that it's one of those things we don't need to see the Future Sight all the time for them to, knowing that they're using their observation hockey sort of in their clashes. It's just neither one can get the leg up on the other because they're sort of both using it, and predicting the prediction sort of stacking a little bit. So where there's probably similar levels of observation hockey, it's sort of canceling out, so it's not really relevant for the fight. That's sort of the way I'm looking at this going forward. I don't know about you guys, but that's how I'm looking at battles between two characters who have good observation hockey, but on similar tiers or levels. So he crashes through the dome. Frankie comes down, and he's just like, oh shit, everything's going down. The Megazord's destroyed. Straw Hat got blown away. Bonnie tries to attack Kizaru and stuff like that. And of course, it does nothing. And then he blips after Frankie tries to shoot him and stuff. Bonnie goes through. He shoots Bonnie through the place. Frankie uses a radical beam. All this stuff is going down, and he's just like, wait, Vegapunk, you cracked the code. That's great. But we're in shit here. Kizaru just came through. Luffy's gone. Bonnie's gone. Megazord destroyed. What's going to go down? Kizaru's right behind him like, your plan to escape has failed, Vegapunk. Do you got any good shit around here? I'm afraid your dream of robot is far out of reach. Oh, well, I mean, I'm more of a... But... not bad, Vegapunk. You always have the good shit here on Egghead. Sucks we gotta blow up the place. But you always had the best shit, you know? And then everyone's like, wait, what? Brooke and Usopp are like, huh? So Brooke's there. We don't see Robin or anybody like that. I think we see Nami here in the background. So Kizaru basically looks at Vegapunk and says, this really isn't... And it's funny, we don't actually get a chance to see Vegapunk actually talk to Kizaru, because Kizaru basically says, this isn't easy for me. I really don't want to drag it out. Just, could you get, you know, basically lay down and die, and Vegapunk doesn't get a chance to say anything before Gear 5 Luffy grabs Kizaru. Like, Kizaru did not see that coming and actually grabs onto him. Now, of course, will he be able to Devil Fruit out of this, being the Logia? Probably. We don't see any hockey on Luffy. Now, this is a big contender. I think I saw some people complaining about this, but a lot of counteraction to this one is people saying that Kizaru did all the damage we see on Gear 5 Luffy. No, no, no. So, Luffy explains this. So, Kizaru is starting to sweat, and he's like, uh-oh, shit. I didn't expect this. There's Gear 5 Luffy. And Luffy even says, he goes, you have some nerve knocking me all the way down there. I had to cross that barrier twice. I thought it was going to kill me. So that thing that completely fries you, that barrier that you're not supposed to pass through, because it, you know, Luffy got kicked through it once by Kizaru, took the damage from Kizaru, through the barrier that's supposed to... Then Luffy's like, alright, fuck this. Gear 5, going through it again. Oh, man, that kills. Alright, Kizaru, grab. Alright. You realize you made me go through that shit twice because you kicked me through that. That was a cheap shot, Kizaru. You know, if you're going to kick... Let's play this game fair. I wasn't even using Gear 5th yet. You dirty rat. You know, so that's what's going on. And the, of course, the thing that made Vegapunk famous, the Iron Giant there, is finally been awakened. Now, what was it that awakened him? A lot of people have mistakenly said Gear 5th. Maybe it's proximity alerted. We don't know. But fact of the matter is that Gear 5th has already been activated on Egghead Island. So, kind of weird there if that was the case. We don't really know what exactly activated this. But I'm actually excited here because the Kuma stuff was cool to get through, like seeing where Kuma's at. Seeing Akainu again is probably fun for a lot of Admiral fans and stuff. And I mean, he is a good antagonist. He's definitely the absolute Justice Marine. He's a good written character for the type of character he is. And Kizaru's always been a fan favorite Admiral. I like him. I really like him as an Admiral. And I'm looking forward to now. Okay, so we saw the Gear 4 stuff. Yeah, I mean... We didn't get to see much. They clashed with it. They seemed sort of evenly matched. Like, Kizaru wasn't exactly sweating bullets, and Luffy didn't exactly seem to be struggling to do anything, but neither one really got a leg up until Kizaru seemed to get a leg up on Gear 4th. Not really that surprising from an OG Admiral to be able to contend with Gear 4th Luffy. Not really that shocking or surprising, so I don't know why people are. The fact that Gear 5th Luffy got the upper hand on Kizaru here at the end of the chapter for a quick run and grab. Not shocking to me. I'm looking more forward to see what Gear 5th Luffy does. We didn't get to see any Lucci versus Zoro. I'm thinking off-screen Zoro's going to come back sweating a little bit, panting. Damn cat walking away, leaving just a bloody cat behind him. That's what I'm gonna predict here. A hybrid form laying there. Roku. Oh, ugh, shit. You know, that's going to be Lucci's state. So, either way, we're losing daylight fast, unfortunately, as I've been recording this. So, just going to end it here. Chapter 1092 was pretty good. I liked it. I had no problems with it. Once we get off this goddamn Egghead Island that I haven't liked this arc very much for the most part. Probably one of my least favorite arcs. But certain chapters like this, not really a whole lot wrong with it. They cracked the code. Kizaru's here. Gear 5th Luffy. Things are pretty cool. I really want to see next chapter, though. I want to see Lucci and Zoro. I'd like to see a little bit of their battle, but if Zoro just wins off screen, I'm not that upset. Does anybody really think Zoro can't beat Lucci? Like, really? Does anybody have that bet? Maybe if Zoro had no swords. Then Lucci. Even then, I would argue that Zoro would win. It would just be really tough, and he'd be really banged up by the end. But I really like, can Lucci one sword style Zoro can beat Lucci. I'm pretty confident in that. So, but would I like to see it? Of course I would. We don't see Sanji, we don't see Robin, we don't see Jinbei, we don't see a lot of the characters or Straw Hats in this particular one, but still, nonetheless, I thought it was a good chapter. What did you guys think? Let me know down in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you guys back here next time for the next piece of One Piece. Once again, one, not two, one. One Piece. And yeah, so that's 1092. Looking forward to 1093, ladies and gentlemen. I know you are too. Sign everybody. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, as always, because, well, you like me, right?